state-of-the-art technology, innovative business strategies, behind the scenes, insights from cutting-edge users around the globe on 21st Century Business.
Welcome to 21st Century Business. I'm Jackie Bales. In today's ever-evolving world, there are major changes occurring in the process industries globally. The A.W. Chesterton Company is in a unique position to be able to help process industry companies deal with the challenges they face. And that's just what the A.W. Chesterton Company is doing. Brian O'Donnell, President and CEO of A.W. Chesterton Company, joins us for this discussion. Welcome to the show, Brian.
It's a pleasure to be here, Jackie.
Brian, what's the biggest challenge facing the process industries you serve today?
Well, our process industry customers are people who work in the pulp and paper industry, for example, people like Weyerhaeuser, International Paper, people in the chemical industry like Dow, DuPont, BASF, large power companies like Duke Power, Entergy, and food and beverage companies like Anheuser-Busch, and some of the large corn processing companies. And their business has changed dramatically because the competition has become much more global. Traditionally, those businesses worked in competed in much more regional fashion, and over time, because of freight costs being reduced and those types of things, they've had to start competing with plants all around the world.
Sure.
And so one of the difficulties for them in the discrete manufacturing world, car manufacturers, component manufacturers for many years, they had gone through doing continuous improvement, productivity updates, those types of things 15, 20 years ago. But the process industries hadn't because they didn't have that global competition. But that's changed now.
So how is the A.W. Chesterton Company helping them address this change?
Well, it's really with a real focus towards how do we help them improve their productivity and efficiencies. For many of those companies, they have to make a choice, a trade-off in terms of which plants they keep open. There's overcapacity, but there's also global competition. So each of the plants almost compete against each other in terms of productivity, efficiency, the profitability that they can generate with each of those plants. And the A.W. Chesterton Company is really out there working with each of those plants to try to share best practices, to try to work on improved productivity programs, to help them meet emissions requirements, reduce emissions, improve their reliability, reduce energy usage and costs and those types of things, to help them become more productive, more efficient, and to help them survive, which is the real issue.
Sure. What would you say distinguishes A.W. Chesterton from other industrial process industry providers?
A.W. Chesterton has been in business for quite a while, since 1884, and the focus for Chesterton has always been in terms of embedding knowledge and service on top of its products. We manufacture very high-end, very high-quality products, but the real value to our customers is the knowledge that we can provide. That's troubleshooting knowledge, that's best practices across plants, that's different ways to be able to apply products so that they can be more productive and more efficient in what they do, and also meet the energy requirements and regulations that they have to do, which are becoming much more severe as time goes on.
Absolutely. For more, let's go to this 21st Century Business Field Report.
With over 100 years of experience, A.W. Chesterton is one of the leading global manufacturers in industrial products and services. With over 1,200 trained specialists, Chesterton delivers excellent service designed to increase operational efficiency and reduce energy consumption.
When you use a superior product like a Chesterton seal, their gasket material or packing material, you have less failures in your facility, you'll have more uptime, it'll reduce the amount of downtime you have. The Chesterton seal will eliminate drag on the pump shafts, which makes your motors more efficient and lowers your cost to operate.
A.W. Chesterton offers a variety of products and works closely with the plant operations teams of each company to understand the challenges and provide effective solutions.
With the extreme conditions we have very difficult applications in our facility, whether it's high heat or just extreme conditions in general.
A.W. Chesterton is committed to producing products and services that reduce water consumption, atmospheric emissions, and carbon footprint with energy-efficient products.
Chesterton will remain a vital part of INEOS Nova's operations by doing what they continue to do, and that's, make superior products and supply superior service.
A.W. Chesterton offers quality products and services that are environmentally safe. For 21st Century Business, I'm Steve Michaels reporting.
Brian, what would you say has been the secret to A.W. Chesterton's success for the past 125 years?
It's really been the fact that we've worked directly with the end users, those plants. We understand the processes, we understand the issues that they face, the problems that they face in daily operations of their plants. And through gaining that knowledge across those industries at different plants, we can then come up with different products, design products that'll help them solve some of the issues that we see in those plants. But also we can share that knowledge across plants. And so our salespeople work within those plants. They gain that knowledge, and what the customers are really buying from us is that knowledge. How do we apply that? How do we work to be able to improve reliability? How do we keep the equipment running much longer than it otherwise would, so that we don't have large maintenance costs, or we have to shut down production, which costs them, millions of dollars an hour sometimes in those process plants.
You have such a wide range of products. What services do you want consumers to take advantage of?
It's really the knowledge that we can provide them in terms of better understanding of different things they can do to change the way they use their processes, the tools that they use, the way they maintain their equipment. Take advantage of, again, our knowledge of other plants and what's been tried and either worked well or didn't work well in other plants, that we can then bring to bear within their plants. So we really want them to take advantage of that knowledge and service, because that's what really differentiates us from some of our other competition, who are really just focused on providing a product as opposed to a real understanding of how to best apply that product for your specific area of application that's going to make the biggest impact on your business. And that's again what we like to focus on. How can we make the big impact? We really want to be there to help them be successful and help them survive.
Brian, how do you view the shifting footprint of your global customer base, and how do you see it impacting your business in the future?
Well, it's both a challenge and an opportunity for Chesterton. The challenge is, again, to be able to serve all those different cultures and be able to learn and develop those relationships, because that does take time. But again, a company like Chesterton, who's been in business for 125 years, we take the time to make sure that we understand the issues and the needs, the processes, so we can add real value. So that's really the challenge. The opportunity then, though, is once you've built those relationships, is to really work with them on a long-term basis. The nice thing about the process industries around the world are, they don't move all that often. They're large, expensive infrastructures that have to be built. And so they're in place for a long time. And if you can build those relationships and work with them, those are long-term types of accounts. And so it benefits us as well.
The company is recognized for exceptional service. How do you maintain these good customer relations in this gigantic global business of yours?
Well, it's always a challenge, again, to be able to do that. And it really requires that focus on working day to day within the plants, providing very localized service. So we're working face to face again with plant engineers, maintenance engineers, to be able to show the worth in terms of providing proposals, show how it's going to be able to pay off in terms of an ROI, for the company, so that they can see what the payback is going to be. Help them do a better job with respect to what their specific function is, what they're being measured on. Try to make sure that we can help support and provide that customer what they need to be successful, both as individuals within the company, but also as the company, so it can prosper.
How do you see maintaining process plant competitiveness in this current global market?
Well, it's critical for them. Again, it's a question of survivability, and for us, it's again really trying to find within the plants the champions who are really focused on the long term and looking at that. Another challenge for us is that under pressure in a lot of companies, they're looking for short-term types of fixes. The purchasing folks in different plants may be gold to have short-term cost savings and things, but those don't really play into the long-term issues that they need to face in terms of developing improved reliability and productivity, meeting or beating environmental regulations for the long term, which is the right thing to do, number one, and number two usually results in higher efficiencies and more productivity. Those are there's not as many companies that are as enlightened to be able to do that. So a challenge for us is to convince, to work with customers, to train them, to really get them to understand the impact and what can be done, and then to come in and help them do that.
To really look at the big picture, the
right,
ultimate
and that's a real challenge sometimes.
I can imagine. How do you manage to increase operational efficiency while at the same time trying to reduce energy consumption and deal with the environmental regulations. It's like, wow.
Yeah, well, the good news is that they go hand in hand, because if you can be more efficient, you usually waste less resources, you usually have much better environmental controls. So for us, in our history, we've seen that if you do the right things in terms of efficiencies and productivities improvements, then you do automatically sometimes reduce energy usage, raw material usage, precious raw material usage, and also reduce emissions controls. We're working with pulp and paper plants who may use 50 million gallons of water a day in their processes. Years ago, they could flow that back out into a river somewhere, but they can't do that
Not
anymore.
today.
So they have to treat that effluent. They also have to heat the water as it comes into the plant, and energy is a lot more expensive than it used to be. So if we can help them save 2, 3, 4 million gallons of water a day, that's a very significant cost impact for them and makes them much more competitive in the world marketplace.
Interesting. Why do you have such an intense focus, though, on maintaining environmentally safe operations?
Well, you know, it's really in our DNA as a company. Chesterton is what we do. Our focus has always been on improving plant reliability. Because we sell directly to the large companies, our people are working with them every day, working on their processes, working with their maintenance and facilities engineers. We have a good insight into the types of things that we can do to help them improve and meet those regulations. And that's really the value that we can provide, and that's why they come to us. So we're really focused on that. We have been. It's influenced our design capabilities, all the products that we design. The inputs for those products come from those customers and people who are really using them and have problems that we can then resolve and implement into a product solution and then have them test it and use it.
Well, your 125 years of success speaks for itself, I have to say.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, Jackie. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Until next time for 21st Century Business, I'm Jackie Bales.